Can you run the numbers on Gemstone caverns? Does it help or should we be cutting it? And there's an answer here from someone else. I cut it and never looked back. So there seems to be like an argument for people that have been playing Gemstone caverns to not play Gemstone caverns anymore. I've actually seen another YouTube channel mention that they did run some stats on their own games from their own YouTube channel, and they also found that Gemstone caverns were performing bad, drawing down the win rate, even if you had it as a pregame effect. Now I have an answer to this, I have a data answer, but you are mostly going to be disappointed in the video. And my answer. So from 416 games so far, I have found Gemstone caverns to become a pregame effect. So that's like almost 25%, which means that in every 4 games I've watched on YouTube calculating data, Gemstone caverns have been a pregame effect. So it's appearing quite a lot. And when it wins, its win rate is, when it is a pregame effect, its win rate is 22.33 from 23 total times when it's won, which means it's not good. Or when you have Gemstone caverns as a pregame effect, it doesn't lead to an increase in your win rate. It actually leads to a decrease in your win rate. However, we have to look at this turn order graph. So from 415 games, player 1 has won 28.1, player 2 has won 26.9, and player 3 24.8, and poor player 4 20.2. And that is the win rate you should be comparing the Gemstone caverns with. So Gemstone cavern had a 22.33, which is better than player 4's win rate, while player 2 has a win rate of 26.9, which is better than Gemstone caverns' average win rate. So you could argue that Gemstone caverns is dragging down the win rate of certain players. More or less, yes. As 22.33 is less than the average win rate players should have on 25, except that this is the more correct average win rate certain player position has. So the verdict is, it's bad, you should cut it. However, we should mention here that 103 is not that of a high amount. We need more data to say this with a bigger security. But so far, as you can see from 103 games, when people have had Gemstone caverns as a pregame effect, it's not led to an huge increase in their win chance. But that isn't the final word to this story. So I also look at just what happens if you just have Gemstone caverns as a pregame or just play it as a natural land drop. So in 138 total games, Gemstone caverns have won 47 times and lost 118. Now if someone actually combines the value 47 plus 118, it's gonna be higher than 138, but that is because in a multiplayer game there are several players who could both have Gemstone caverns in play at the same time. But the win rate among the people who have Gemstone caverns as a pregame effect or as a land drop is at 28.48. which definitely creates a mishap, like we don't see a consistency. One could argue that it's better to have Gemstone caverns as a land drop, and it's worse to have it as a pregame effect. Because if you just look at this, it looks like having Gemstone caverns as a pregame effect is bad compared to having it as a normal land drop. Now why could that be? Well, the argument would be that you're losing a card. Sure, you're gaining a mana, like a Chromox, but you're losing a card, so you're going down in hand size. So you could see an argument that sacrificing your hand size for fast mana is bad. Or the argument could be the boring one, that we just don't have enough data to really get a good true answer yet. By the way, the win rate there in the white area is actually statistically significant, and the up there too is also statistically significant, but over time I think we're gonna need more numbers anyway. So I'm criticizing the data. We could also do a arm wrestling competition where we have one group with a card, a underground sea in this case, and excluding the Gemstone caverns. So we have one group with underground sea that have never had a Gemstone caverns, and the opposite position we have Gemstone caverns who never had an underground sea. And from that we have 27 matches, and group 1 with Gemstone caverns have won 40.74% of those games, while group 2 have won 59.26% of the situations. And this is both with Gemstone caverns as a pre-game effect and Gemstone caverns as a land drop. So as you can see, if someone has a Gemstone caverns compared to someone having an underground sea seems to be winning more. But it's a little bit, you just say, too few games to say anything. And the chi-square test here is not, or t-test is not statistically significant. And as you can see, we don't have a consistency. For example, if we move around on looking at different kinds of lands, Mana Confluence is suddenly weaker in comparison to Gemstone caverns, while Tundra is also weaker in comparison to Gemstone caverns, while Badlands is better and Underground Sea better. So the answer is we need more data. We could of course compare non-land cards with Gemstone caverns, and I don't think that is the right approach, because they are doing a little bit of a different thing. Like Mystic Remora is a very strong card that in my opinion would naturally get a very good win rate in comparison to Gemstone caverns, regardless if Gemstone caverns is good or not. But I thought I will show you the data anyway. While we're at it, let's throw in a bonus feature and just showcase a comparison between Esper Sentinel and Rhetoric Study. I actually made a video a long time before where I mentioned that Esper Sentinel is stronger than Mystic Remora, and that still seems to be the case. While obviously Rhetoric Study is stronger than Fish, and Rhetoric Study is obviously stronger than Esper Sentinel. I like, and I think it's a good thing to do short recaps on things I've said in older videos to just see if things still stays true to what I've said before. But back to the topic of Gemstone caverns. So what is the takeaway from this? Should we be cutting Gemstone caverns from our lists? I don't think so, and I'm not going to, personally. Because I think that win rate is going to go up a little bit over time once I've accumulated more games. That is my personal speculation. You see, data isn't everything. Now, data will show you the truth in the numbers you put in. But I believe we put in too few numbers, so give me more time and we will have a better, stronger result. But player experience matters too. If you are playing a lot of games and you've noticed that I'm not really winning a lot when I have Gemstone caverns as a pre-game effect. I often have a problem with color fixing, and when I draw Gemstone caverns, that just doesn't really work for me. So if someone goes, I cut it and I never look back, that is saying something. Like that person has probably felt like it was better for me to cut it. And that is why this video is a little bit boring. I don't have a great answer for you. Those were the numbers, and you're gonna have to make up your own mind. I'm still going to keep it, but once I've received more data, and if the data stays like it looks like now, I would cut it. But I personally believe the win rate of Gemstone caverns is gonna go up. In other words, I'm a believer. Thank you for watching this short, simple video tutorial. If you have any other similar questions like this, if you want me to look into certain specific cards in different angles, feel free to drop a comment below and I will do my best to see if I can find a good answer. Take care guys, and I'll see you in the next one.